Welcome to the Pitchwerks podcast. I'm Scott McTaggart. Over the last 20 years, I've been a sales rep, a marketer, a manager, an executive, a consultant, and an advisor. This show is designed to give you access to my list of contacts so that you can learn more about how to present your ideas at work and succeed in your career.
Startups and salespeople, marketers and managers from the Epicast Network in Pittsburgh. It's the Pitchwerks podcast.
They want to spend 5 minutes doing they just go to like some US Gov website and grab the basic numbers and say, oh, that's my market. Like, really? Like, you need to dive deep into really understanding your market, and I think that helped in our pitch.
Hey everybody, it's Scott. It is Wednesday. Welcome back to your Pitchwerks podcast. Today we're talking to Christine Iksic, and she is, well, frankly, she's got a great energy. Let's start there. But she's also launching something called the Three Rivers Outdoor Company, and you're going to love this story. Christine is also into a couple other different things. She spent a long time researching before she got her new venture started, and I'm honestly really excited about what she's got going. And as we found out, there's actually an Indiegogo campaign that's just launched, and hopefully some of you outdoorsies are going to want to get in on that. Before we jump in, don't forget you can always find us on the social media channels. Just spell us out, Pitchwerks. That's right, we spell it wrong. Put E in works. Throw a .com at the end. You're coming to the website. That's where the whole experience comes together. We hope you'll come and join us. And I'm going to give you a light nag this week on the iTunes. Just don't forget I need that, okay? Just, rates and reviews are always useful, And, by now you know about it. Christine Iksic, Three Rivers Outdoor Company, with some used gear, building a little bit of community. Wait till you find out about this. All right, so let's jump on into it with Christine Iksic. Christine, welcome to the Epicast Studios. How do you like it here?
Thank you. It's cozy.
It's cozy. It's eclectic.
Trees and kegs.
Yeah, I hate that tree. But I think Buzzy likes that tree. I'm afraid that we should not tell him that watering it gets him nowhere.
It needs a little bird or something.
It's not real. It's a plastic tree, and watering. He doesn't actually water it. I don't want to humiliate our friend Buzz. So, the Three Rivers Outdoor Company. You are the co-founder. You're getting this thing launched. Tell me what in the world possesses somebody to start an outdoor company?
You love the outdoors.
That's a good start.
You love the outdoors, and you're missing things, right? So,
what are you missing?
I'm missing gear. I'm missing products, and I've got too much gear in my garage and my basement, and so do my friends.
Yeah.
And I have other friends who are saying to me, I want to get outside. How do I do this? I need gear. I don't know where to get it.
Is that like a requirement for you and I to be friends? Because I'm really more of an indoorsy guy.
No, not at all.
Okay, good. Because most of this pitch stuff, this happens indoors. We don't really field trip it very often. It's cool that you're into it. Obviously, I'm interested in the part where you've decided to kind of make it into a business, right? So usually whenever somebody tells me that they want to start a business, I ask, what's your unique approach to this? Like, what makes you the indispensable thing that the market needs? And I'm going to ask you that question, understanding maybe that on day one, you might not be the indispensable thing, but you're moving toward it. What gap are you trying to fill?
Product-wise, right, my initial reaction is just that used gear piece, right? Like the accessibility to the outdoors. Gear is so expensive, brand new. There are a lot of people who want to try this stuff. And it doesn't have to be extreme. Not everything has to be this class 5 or the super high end or a 14er. But taking your first step, whether it's starting a business or, backpacking overnight for the first time, if you don't know what you're doing, you're looking for help. You're looking for guidance. You're looking for a mentor. And that's kind of where our indispensable thing is that we want Three Rivers Outdoor Company to be a hub for the outdoor community. Not just a product, but hey, I need help. Where do I go?
And you and I need to back up a little bit because we had a nice conversation before this, but we need to make sure everybody's sort of following along. So tell me what I can buy from the Three Rivers Outdoor Company is probably a better question to have started with. Used gear you've mentioned.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, because I have used gear and I could go just sell it on Craigslist.
Right.
But it's just, I don't want to deal with meeting people and running around and scheduling that. And I want to buy something on Craigslist because I like to buy used gear.
But you can evaluate it
But then
yourself.
I don't have the time to evaluate it. And I don't want to take half an hour to run to the other side of town and then find out that it's not really the product that I want or that I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a fat man. Now, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not potentially... The system hasn't gone as bad as it could have, right? You know what I mean? It still looks like I might know what the inside of a gym looks like. But if I decided, I don't know, one day I, mix up my medications or whatever and decide that I'm going to just do a lifestyle change, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how, right? So I'd come to you and I would say, sell me a kayak because of that Craigslist problem. Right? Craigslist is a problem for me because I can't inspect to see whether or not the useful life of that kayak or those skis and the bindings that go with, right? I have no sense of it, but I would be tempted to go buy something used because I'm not...
Deal.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm going to stick it out.
Right. Exactly. Accessibility. It's not just we're always cheap. You're like, but I don't want to spend $1,000 if I'm going to do this once.
Yeah, if I hate it.
Right? No point. And you don't know what you're looking for. If you've never gone kayaking, you don't know what questions to ask for. A neighbor just 2 months ago said to me, we want to go kayaking. We want to buy a kayak. She found a bunch. She actually took me with her. We went and we looked at a couple of kayaks. And I said, you want to look for canning. You want to look for scratches. They don't want to be too deep. You want to ask them if they stored it outside. And, with me there, she felt confident to buy that. So it's the same service, but in our store.
So did you charge her for that?
No.
You should have.
It's neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
The neighbors are for
Trust me, I heard you the first time. So when you're not Three Rivers Outdoors Company, what are you?
I'm the GPS lady.
Are you the GPS lady?
I have been called that.
It's good to have a brand.
Yeah.
Tell me about what being the GPS lady means.
I provide high accuracy equipment for mapping.
Oh, cool.
And geospatial technology to clients.
Okay, getting complicated.
Yeah.
Geospatial
technology.
Tell me what that is.
Software and GPS hardware.
Yeah.
Combined to find things, to map things, to create maps, to get accurate data, or to find things accurately on the Earth's surface.
Nice. And you're representing that tech.
I'm representing that tech and helping people, fit it into their current workflows.
So you got a sales background.
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's going to come in handy.
It is.
Starting a business is all about selling, right? Selling the bank that they should give you a loan, right? Selling the realtor that you can't afford that.
Of selling.
Yeah. That's cool. How long have you been doing sales in general?
Officially 8 years, but I think, I believe now personality-wise, sometimes it's just who you are.
No, you definitely have the right personality for it, and that's going to serve you well. But there is also that aspect where it's like no matter what you do, again, you have to persuade people. And we built a show around this idea, right? The idea that even if you're just trying to ask somebody to invest in your firm, you need to know how to give that pitch. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. You get the idea. The GPS lady. Now, how you said it's high accuracy. How high are we talking?
We can get down to 1 centimeter.
Yeah. That's like, probably something that the government had and then now it got declassified or something along those lines. Does that sound right?
Yeah, technology just keeps advancing and we're getting it, everywhere now. We help people map our water and sewer lines, gas lines, trees.
Nice.
I work with a range of industries.
Are you outdoors in this job?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you started to kind of feel like this was,
I'm more often in a boardroom
this is your identity,
pitching
right? Oh, are you?
than I am outside.
Yeah.
But I do demos, and I have that sales pitch when sometimes technology doesn't always do what it's supposed to, and that's a difficult sales pitch.
All right, wait. I got to do something to you, and I hope you'll play along. All right.
Okay.
First thing I want to hear the GPS pitch, right? And then I want you to pitch me on Three Rivers Outdoor Company, just because I want to hear what they have in common. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate to put you on the spot, but I think you can do it. I believe in you.
I'm not used to pitching the GPS. I feel like I answer questions and I sell people on...
But you do like a trade show booth sometimes, yeah?
I do a trade show booth.
Okay, so we're at a trade show booth, right? And I say, hi, I'm Scott. What are you selling here?
I am selling high accurate GPS so that you know where your assets are and you can manage your inventory and where your maintenance dollars are going to go, and you can better respond to emergency situations.
Very nice. Very smooth, especially considering how I kind of threw you under all four wheels of the bus right there, right? All right, now let's do Three Rivers Outdoor Company. Pitch me on that. Now, this one I know you don't have as much practice on because 8 years is a lot. 8 years is a ton of practice.
I've been practicing a lot lately, though.
It does 8 years worth?
No, not 8 years worth. Pittsburgh's a great place to live an outdoor life.
Okay.
But we're missing access to many of those products and the knowledge for people to get outside, and a hub for those people to find one another. Wherever we go or whatever we're passionate about, we want to find our community. We want to find people like us. And our goal for the store is to be that place for Pittsburgh where you can meet up and not only get information, but hopefully find someone that you can go trail running with.
Oh, you crushed the community angle. I love that. I hadn't even thought about that. That was a welcome little... That for me was the catalyst for the whole store, really, was the community piece. It's even better when it comes to, because it's really what you feel and think and whatnot. A lot of times people have to wait and see what a business becomes before they realize a community sprung up, right? But I love the fact that you hit that. That I think is what is going to save in-person retail, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you saw very recently the Starbucks Corporation had said that they're going to close down the website. Right, you can't buy anything on Starbucks.com. And Howard, I forget his last name, that's the CEO, came out and made comments along the lines of not everything can be done on Amazon. Some things are about a human experience, and we've decided that Starbucks is about a human experience. And it sounds like you came to the same conclusion. Yeah,
it's been scary doing the market research because there's tons of articles that go, oh, retail's dying, and there's these doomsday story about retail. And when you're doing market research, and we spent 3 years doing market research, it was like, this is kind of crazy. You really spent 3 years. Yeah, we really spent 3 years. It was almost 3 years ago, 2015, when I said to my partner, I want to do this. Let's do this. And I started traveling the country visiting shops. Mm-hmm. To say, does this make sense? Originally, we were just going to be a used gear shop. Yeah. And then I visited a bunch of other used gear shops, some that just did used and then ones that did used and new. And I started to look at it and I said, well, there's not really any market in just used. Like, this isn't going to be a successful business if we do used only. Right. And then we looked at the Pittsburgh market and thought, well, there's a gap here too on new. So it makes sense to do both.
So tell me, 3 years is a long time, right?
It is.
You had to have learned a lot, right? What's the most surprising thing that you learned when you invested this time? I typically, speaking for myself, when I start something out like this, I think I know what people are going to tell me, but I'm smart enough now, old enough now, experienced enough now to still have to do the research, right? We did like a year's worth of research before we started the show, right? I don't get out of bed without talking to customers, right? It's just one of those things that has to be done. But one of the things that happens consistently is they shock you, they surprise you and tell you something that makes you question whether or not you really understood the buyer. So you started off with an idea. How far away were you when you ended up?
I think we were a lot closer than I was expecting. I actually thought the research would really, tell me not to do this because there was a lot of this, media attention on retail dying and things closing. But as I started to pull a lot of the market research, I almost had to pinch myself that it really was supporting my theory that Pittsburgh truly does have an outdoor community. Yeah. One of the researches was this Outdoor Industry Association, and when I pulled the demographics alone, it said that we should have 88,000 as a target market and $48 million. And I didn't trust that, right? Because it's national numbers, and they could be pulling in Denver and some of these other cities and
that are disproportionate,
right, they're
one way or the other.
disproportionate. They're not the same personality.
I hate this part of it. I hate not knowing how they skewed the numbers in the first place, and how is it going to affect my livelihood.
Right, but then my GIS, my mapping background came in, and I kind of knew about data and putting it on maps, and I kind of had access to some of these resources or the knowledge of where to find that.
Good
data.
for you.
So I mapped specific data to the Pittsburgh economy.
Yeah.
And the numbers matched up perfectly. Like when I looked at the outdoor spend in the Pittsburgh market over the last 3 years, it was where they were predicting the spend should be. And when we looked at the number of people participating in mountain biking and kayaking and climbing in the Pittsburgh market, it matched what just this national demographic said our target market should be. So it was like, okay, now I have 3 resources to kind of tell me what's going on, and I feel a lot more confident.
Thank goodness. I've always second guessed it. I go to these schools, right? A lot of times colleges, and they give you their presentation of like their mock startup, and I cringe a little bit every time they tell me how big the market size is because they take it from, let's say, unvetted sources, right? And you know, I mean, they don't have their actual skin in the game, so I mean, you can't blame them. It's for the A.
They want to spend 5 minutes.
Oh.
Do you mean, like they just go to like some US Gov website and grab the basic numbers and say, oh, that's my market. Like, really? Like you need to dive deep into really understanding your market. And I think that helped in our pitch. I just showed up to this conference in Salt Lake City, right?
Yeah.
Where every major brand presents their product.
Okay.
And I had to set up appointments with national sales reps to say, I want to open a store and I want to sell your brand.
Nice.
And what I did was send them my pitch deck. And, you know, I feel confident now, but I was kind of amazed that they were really stunned at how much work we had done. They looked and they're like, wow, you guys have really done your
No
research.
disrespect
You know
intended, but I
numbers."
was too. I mean, 3 years is a long time to do your homework.
Yeah.
And I do think, just based on how your pitch came out and sort of what you said you're trying to accomplish, it's going to pay off in spades, right? But it's tough going through. Like, are we still doing this, or is it really just 3 years worth of worth of questions and trips and?
There were moments for sure. There were moments for sure.
But again, I'm really glad that you're totally comfortable being the GPS lady, right? Because you don't have to be in a hurry. You can actually play out that full plan.
Yeah, and it helped to not have that pressure. I mean, I think maybe we definitely could have moved faster, but when you're still living this other full life,
right?
And I don't want to say other, but I still was kayaking, and that's a big hobby of mine, and not wanting to just cut off my existing life. It slowed. We're now past that, like, we've got a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah.
But there was some delays doing that there. I had a thought that I lost there, but...
Don't you hate when that happens?
Well, my thought is this, that when it's truly your passion business, it's not... When it's truly your passion business, I think that you have that spark to keep you going even through those long periods.
Well, let's tear that apart for a second, right? There are perfectly capable people who don't do what you're doing, right? There are people who love the outdoors. There are people who have a background in starting companies. Why don't they do it? And the answer is because they don't feel like they have to. They haven't gotten to a point where it's important to them. You've got a list of priorities, right? It's like, well, today I have to wear pants, eat food. Well, let's not get crazy, okay? You know, I mean, this is one of those shows that's for all audiences,
Scott.
Okay? I can too. My people do it. The Mac Taggarts, yes. It's a lovely blue plaid. Anyway, you have certain things that are your priorities, and then you have certain things you make time for other people, like I have to pay my taxes.
I didn't have to do it. I have a good career, and my life was in this great place. And there were moments where I was like...
Still is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It still is. But I didn't need to do it. It wasn't like I had to do it. And there were moments where I wanted to be like, why am I doing this? Like, I could just be kayaking every weekend, which is what I really love to be doing. But I heard this Japanese term recently, and I hope I don't butcher it.
You're going to. Just embrace it.
Ikijai.
Okay.
And what it really means is just your purpose in waking up. And there's a diagram. If you look at Ikigai, you'll see an image that's 4 circles. That Ikigai is the center where these 4 circles intersect.
Nice.
And what it is what you love, what you're good at, what you can make money at,
right,
and what the world needs. And where the 4 of those things intersect is your Ikigai and your purpose for waking up. And I really feel like when I had this moment that I wanted to do this store for the first time in my life, I thought I like to do sales. I'm good at doing sales.
Yeah.
I like customer service. I like fixing problems or answering people's questions that they have and giving them a product that really fits their needs.
Do you know that, seriously, most people that would have told me that, I would have called out as bogus? No, I mean, let's be real, right? Or I just want to cut it out of the show, right?
Okay.
No, because a lot of people try to tell me like, oh, you know what? I just live to help people. And I would say 70 to 80% of those cases, it's not true, right? What they mean is, of all the things I could have done for money, this is what I want to do. You, on the other hand, just gave me a very different and honestly very believable, right? Like I understand where you're coming from. You know, this is something you've spent a lot of time thinking about, and it's obvious.
Oh, there's selfishness in there too, though. Part of
but
my
you
dream
specifically said it's one of the circles. You're like, no, I need to make money too.
Right. And I think this is a great place for me, this idea that, you know what, you can be a for-profit company that does good. That's where I think there's a model going to today. Like, you don't have to be, I love nonprofits and I want to help nonprofits, and that's a cool thing we should come back to about our store that I want to talk about. But you can be a for-profit company doing good.
No, we are, as far as I'm concerned, the world's and universe's capital of that. Pittsburgh is the capital of businesses that are socially conscious. Like, we are not just in it for ourselves. We found a way to plug into the rest of the universe, and we are useful to one another. While we're having that conversation, let's talk about the fine folks here at the Epicast Network and at Work Hard. So they threw the best and just most useful party for the city, right? They brought in famous rappers, they brought in Red Bull, and they brought in all these different sponsors, and they had Give Camp of all things, right? So we in the city of Pittsburgh kicked off a rap concert with Give Camp. Let that sink in for a second. You are in the epicenter of this. And as long as we keep tending that garden, this is where social commerce lives. You're in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and you picked the right time for it.
It's so cool to be in Pittsburgh right now. I was in Bozeman and I thought, man, these are my people and I could move here. And then I thought, man, but there's something about Pittsburgh that I really feel pulled to. And I am actually living an awesome outdoor life in Pittsburgh.
Oh, absolutely.
And this community right now is just taking off. And I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to be a part of that inner circle of cool people doing cool things and building businesses and creating the community that they want to live in, rather than just running to some other place where the community already exists. What if I was like at the center of that community and I got to wear flip-flops every day to work and pigtails and my trucker hat?
We're building these companies that everybody's proud to work at. You know, that you are not just going in to collect a paycheck. You're going to do something for the fourth circle, which is what the world needs.
Yeah, and they're so supportive. You know, it's been really amazing in the last 3 years as we went to get out and get branding consulting and a logo and just printing t-shirts and working with other local companies, and how supportive they have been, even if it's just immediately without asking, getting social media coverage for us by being like, oh, I really like what you're doing. Yeah. And then it's just like little things. I mean, but it's such a supportive place to be doing a startup.
Look, we got listeners all over the world, right? But the ones in Pittsburgh want to know where this place is going to be. Let's talk about that for a second, right? Like, do you have an idea of where you want to be? Give me some sense of geography. I mean, are we talking central business district? Are we talking suburbs? Give me a sense.
Right now it's looking like very close to Frick Park.
Okay.
Which is not where we started our search. But
Right.
that's kind of where we've ended up.
If I was you, and again, this goes back to like your market research is usually wrong. You know, like you come in with assumptions, and then the people tell you they want something different, right? Yeah, I would have gone somewhere to Robinson or Cranberry where you figure these people already have decided to live closer to trees, right? So they must be the people, right?
Right.
In my experience, there's a lot of outdoorsy people in the city.
You should see my maps.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about that.
Well, what we did was this research analysis on the stores, their outdoor stores and their dollars versus a neighborhood spend on outdoor stuff by neighborhood. And it's called a leakage ratio. So
really?
there's more stores outside of a 10-mile radius for people to buy outdoor products, right? But there's a greater dollar, so there's a leakage. They have to leave this area to spend those dollars. But you look at the household spend, and it's here. And with this current, generation, and many of us, right, we don't want to travel. We don't want to drive our cars. We don't want to cross bridges in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But, that meant that there was a huge hole here.
Yeah.
But when you went to the 20 and the 30 and the 40-mile radius, there was plenty of options to purchase. Maybe not even what we're offering, but when you just look at the outdoor economy in Pittsburgh, there's a gap. Maps are amazing. Like how many questions you can ask and get these amazing answers visually when you put something on a map versus just looking at data in a spreadsheet. I
love it. I absolutely love it. That's genius. You're in an enviable position, right? In the fact that you've got a cool employer. And let's shout them out just for a second. Who the GPS company that you're working with is?
Precision Laser and Instrument, and it's Trimble is the Trimble GPS.
You just gave a master class in the use of maps for understanding the meaning and depth of the research that you did over 3 years, right? That's not something that happens with one of these move fast, break stuff kind of companies, right? And again, you've got this lovely balance, right? And it's enviable. How much time do you spend in a week on the outdoor company right now? You got 7 days, right? You figure you're probably working, I'm figuring like a 40-hour week at the other place, right? How many hours out of the available ones around that are going into the outdoor company?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them right now. It's
which is a bunch.
It's really picked up in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
We've got our funding, some financing approved, so we're moving forward with that, trying to find the property, launching Gearfest is in 2 weeks, launching our Indiegogo campaign in 2 weeks.
There's an Indiegogo. Hang
There's
on a second.
Indiegogo.
We got to ramp up your Indiegogo here too. Tell me about that.
We launch in 9 days from today.
Oh, good God.
We're basically, our pop-up market called Gearfest is also going to be our Indiegogo launch party. So we've been filming all over Pittsburgh. I have to give a shout out to Matt Dayak, who is an amazing videographer. He has put together incredible footage that just shows what a beautiful place Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania is.
That's huge.
Yeah, and we've got some
No,
cool...
because the photos will sell it. The photos will sell it.
Yeah.
You got to pull the imaging in, right? If you're going to sell stuff for cubicles, don't use environmental pictures of the cubicle, right? Be like, yes, this is a fabric wall, and them junks are gorgeous. Okay, so your Indiegogo is 9 days from the day we're recording. So we're recording on the 5th of October. Okay,
right.
So that says you're launching this thing on the 14th.
October 14th, we have Gearfest at Shenley Plaza.
And then how long does it run?
The Indiegogo
because they're going to
hear
those folks who we can't see,
folks.
they're not going to see this until a couple weeks from now. Well, technically they're not going to see anything because it's a radio. No. So it'll be a couple weeks before this actually hits. Right. So how long is your campaign
30
running?
days. So 30 days. I guess that's November 14th
or
we get November
this thing
13th.
Yeah. All right.
Really cool rewards that I think are really different.
Do you have it linked on your website?
Not yet.
You got to get
But
that
it will
done.
be. It will be when we launch.
9 days,
9
Christine.
days.
Come on.
9 days
On the stick. Okay. We'll push it out for you. if you send me the address, we'll push it out for you.
Awesome. We really appreciate that.
Unfortunately, you folks in Australia and whatnot aren't probably going to benefit from that, but it's just going to have to be okay.
Shout out to all those people in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
Your Kiwis.
I don't think we're in with the Kiwis yet.
No? I'm going to send to some people. I lived in New Zealand for 3 years.
Did you?
I did.
I hear it's lovely.
It's amazing.
Yeah. No, the Aussies are all about the Pitchwerks.
Cool.
The Kiwis, not so much, but I mean, let's face it. I mean, they're probably shooting another Peter Jackson film. So if somebody wants to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Gearfestpgh.com is our website.
Cool.
A quick email, that's the easiest email, is info@gearfestpgh.com.
Yeah. All right. And then you said it's going to run for 30 days, which means it'll end on November 14th. You're Indiegogo. And that's basically going to help you launch the store. It
is. We do have some financing approved, but in our research, we've decided to open up a 3,000 square foot store. That's not a small store.
Right.
That's a big way to get started. Yeah. But we want to do it right,
Well, you did the research.
We did the research, and we want to make it a community hub. So we could take the financing that we've got and just open up another retail store.
Yeah.
But I want to make it this place that people are going to come hang out. So there's going to be a venture planning center with maps and books that are free and coffee and, free beer nights. There's a mug club thing in our backer reward.
No. Now you're stepping on our territory around here, right?
We could pull you into the outdoor world. We drink beer.
All right. Christine Iksic, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is it for this week. Thank you, Christine Iksic. I appreciate you coming in, and frankly, I love the energy level that you brought into the room. This was a lot of fun. We're going to push the Indiegogo information out through the social media channels. Please, if you are in the audience, at least give them a chance. Even if it's from that purely academic Pitchwerks kind of a perspective where you just want to see how it is that maybe they put their pitch together and, see how they did theirs so that you can see how you're going to eventually do yours. That's cool too. It's all cricket, just as long as you tell your friends. Otherwise, stay tuned. Watch this space. In 7 days, there's going to be another Pitchwerks, and we'll be working feverishly on that in the meantime. We'll catch you next Wednesday. Talk to you then.
The Pitchwerks podcast comes to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a production of the Epicast Network and McTaggart, LLC. Engineering and production by Buzzy Torek and Nick Miller. For more information, show feedback, and ad sales, visit pitchwerks.com. pitchwerks.com. On social media, find and follow the show on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram using that same brand name, pitchwerks.